Good morning. Good morning. August 9th.
Good morning,
2018.
sir. 2018. Here
Good
we are
morning,
again.
Mr. Jesse McRae.
Mr. Woods.
Yes, sir.
Always a pleasure to see you.
It's always a pleasure to be seen. Believe me, brother. Always a pleasure to be seen. Hey, man. Boy,
Yes, sir.
This is going to be a great day, huh?
It is. It is.
Great day.
Got a lot going on.
A lot going on.
Yeah.
We got to talk to a whole lot of audiences around the country for our viewership and our listenership. Man, we want to bring some messages to you today. Because today is about what, Jesse?
Oh, it's about the inconvenient truth.
Man, the inconvenient truth of investing in small businesses.
Now think about that for just a second.
Yeah.
We're not going to ponder too long.
Yeah, because don't make me think too long now.
However, we think about inconvenient.
Inconvenience.
We think about something that's uncomfortable.
Very much so, yes.
A bit outside the norm of what we've grown accustomed to experiencing.
Yeah, true.
Causing a bit of a roadblock.
Yeah.
In our commute or our endeavor to that next place. But
absolutely.
then truth is, simplistically speaking, is just absolute clarity. It's a known.
It's a known. And there's also a lot of unknowns. A lot of
unknowns, exactly. So great title for
when you're a small business.
Wow.
It's a lot of unknowns, and we all have experienced those unknowns, right?
And that's probably the single greatest inconvenient truth is that there are some unknowns in that. You have pedigree, you know your commodity or service, you have an approach to the marketplace, but may not be completely clear as far as where you stand in your industry versus your peers.
True.
Where you stand financially versus the previous 3 or 4 quarters. Where you're going the next 6, 7, 9 quarters. And what the market trends are once you get there.
True.
Again, unknown. So inconvenient truth. Great platform for us.
Inconvenient truth of investing in small businesses.
Yep.
And Jesse, you and I have, seen a lot of small businesses.
Indeed.
And the reason we built the platform that we built at www.playbookinvestors
with an S.
Yep, with an S. Investors with an S, network.com. Small businesses are always trying to scale to the next level.
Sure.
And we always say the truth because this show was built about trying to educate suppliers on how to gain access to capital.
Certainly.
Right?
Certainly.
But all the challenges we see, and there's a lot of unknowns, and then there's a lot of knowns that small businesses know about that don't want to tell you.
That's right.
Because you don't want to open up these books and show everything, and it's okay. But the challenges for small businesses, especially with investing into them, you have to display your business. You have to show your financials. You have to show your books. Even if you're working from home sometimes, that's okay.
That's okay.
We're okay with you working from home, but you got to show what you do, how you do it, and how we can help you get to the next level.
Man, let's not steal our thunder because we got so much to give them today. So I know we got some shout outs and we got
some shout outs. We definitely want to shout out to Adrian Trimble, who came from Toyota.
Wow.
Who I've worked with for a number of years, and part of my grooming was from Adrian and John Munson and Manetta and Kia and the whole AJ, the whole Toyota team, Jim and Chuck. Chuck is running the ship right now at Diversity with Toyota. Did a great job last night, giving his presentation for the reception last night for the power of exchange with Toyota. So shouts out to Adrian. Congratulations. She's actually become the president of NMSDC of all the National Minority Supply Development Councils. Congratulations.
Speaking of which,
go ahead, bro.
Talking about councils.
Yep.
We certainly would be remiss if we didn't recognize our own.
Absolutely. This is where we're from.
Hey,
D-Town, Dallas, baby.
NMSDC. Of course, as we know, we had Mr. Andrew Nash on, previously, and we're recognizing not only them as an institution in terms of their importance to educating firms on the value and process of becoming certified as a minority or woman-owned, LGBTQ, or what have you. But 45 years.
45 years.
45 years. So we certainly want to give a shout out to them.
And Margot Poe.
And Margot and her team.
She's been a leader.
Yes, she has.
She has definitely been a leader of that ship for a long time.
For a long time. And so we want to make sure that we recognize them because they're part and parcel to really what this broadcast is evolving to and what the PEN platform is. And that's an extension of a bigger mission.
Yeah.
To raise the visibility of viable firms that happen to be women and minority-owned firms.
Women and minority-owned firms.
Represent these other
That's
demographics.
Right. Absolutely.
Certainly these smaller majority-owned companies.
Yeah.
You know, but we want to make sure that we recognize them because, again, this represents a very important step.
Yeah.
The crescendo of our time as it relates to the political will, the financial commitment, and the institutional engagement that's creating these opportunities. So, man, awesome day today. I know we got a lot to get to.
Congrats to everybody.
Yes, sir.
Congrats to all the small businesses that are out there trying to thrive and grow their businesses to the next level. But we got to do some things we don't want to do sometimes, but we got to open up these books.
So it's time to clean up our own backyard.
Got to clean up our own backyard, Jesse. And the inconvenient truth of investing, it's time to talk about it.
Wow, in small business.
And small business,
Yeah,
absolutely.
yeah,
We got
yeah,
some
yeah.
other phases of this inconvenient truth now. We're going to save that for them a little bit later,
Yes,
so
we
we're going
are.
to come back to that.
Yes, we
but
are.
the inconvenient truth of investing in small businesses. So we're going to play a little devil's advocate sometime.
Let's do it.
I'm going to be the small business.
No problem.
And you're going to be the investor.
Hey, not a problem. Not a problem.
You know?
I have no
So-
problem with candor. Sir.
No, okay, all right, cool. So what happens is I own this business, man, but I'm a landscape company.
Wow.
And I'm really been trying to get this contract with Toyota or Microsoft or what have you, man. But been in business 10 years. You know, I really need to, raise like $3 million. So, sir, can you help me raise this $3 million? The things that you're going to ask me for, what are some of those things, Jesse?
You know, there are a myriad of ways to attack this, but
Okay.
as we always say,
Attack it from the investment side.
strictly looking through the lens of an investor.
There you go.
From a risk standpoint, let's consider the fact that we're having a conversation,
Yes.
it's inconvenient for you.
Okay.
Because now the convenient money, i.e. mom, dad,
Yeah.
uncle,
Don't always have it.
don't always have it.
No.
Unless
we got an athlete in the family.
Unless
or
we have an athlete in the family.
entertainer in the family,
Yeah, that's funding it.
Yeah, we might create another Jay-Z from the house or something.
Or that aging vintage lottery ticket that we know those same numbers are going to come up at some point. Okay.
We hope it comes up at some point.
Those are what we call convenient options.
Okay, true.
But the fact that we're having a conversation about your business,
Yeah.
your commodity or your services landscape.
Yeah, landscape. I'm a landscape company.
Yeah,
I'm trying to get a large contract.
You're proud of your brand. You're proud of the fact that you have done a significant amount of revenue. Significance like any other adjective.
My top line revenue is I'm 3.5 million.
3.5 million. But you need at least that
I need that. Yes.
to scale and grow.
Yes.
So now that we know that the premise of our conversation is based upon some degree of discomfort,
Yes.
uneasiness,
Yes, sir.
inconvenience.
Yeah.
Now let's speak a little bit more qualitatively
Okay.
with regard to when you look at your business
Mm-hmm.
versus another business like yours in
Okay.
the marketplace.
Okay.
Where do you stand in terms of market share?
Well,
Because this is leading to something bigger later, but,
yeah,
but just where do you
so
stand in terms of market share?
sometimes as a small business, I don't know where I stand. Right? So this is the inconvenient truth, right? This is the thing we're playing today, the inconvenient truth. I know who I am. I know that I'm a landscape company, and I know that I'm trying to get this contract.
And
I
you've
need
done
to-
pretty well.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
I need to raise $3 million. So I don't really know my true value and my true market share place. I don't know. I think I should know my competition. I should know the market. But, Mr. Jesse, I really don't know.
Got
So
it.
what should I do now, sir?
Well, now that we know that that's one unknown unknown.
Unknown unknown, right.
So how do we address that? So
Yeah.
now we have to do the work
Yes.
to understand where our business fits within our industry.
True.
And there's a lot of data out there. There's Census Bureau data that goes by industry.
Right.
But let's bring this more locally.
Yeah.
Let's bring this more locally. So I'm not going to make any assumptions. I know that we always joke about the ethnic ambiguity
Yeah,
that
we
exists
do.
within our society.
Right.
So
we
if-
do that quite a bit.
So
Every day, as a matter of fact.
So if we had to check a box, you're probably going to fit a certain ethnic group
Yes.
for which there is a real institutional commitment
Yes.
to recognize you, to vet you, and to position you to compete for certain opportunities that are being earmarked for you.
Right.
So now the question becomes, are you certified?
Yes, sir. I'm a minority-owned certified business. I got certified in DFW, my Minority Business Council, and I've been certified now, sir, 12 years.
Excellent.
Yeah,
Excellent.
12
Excellent.
years.
So how are you partnering with the institutions that help you go through the process of becoming certified? But more importantly, or equally as important, what are you doing to leverage that designation as relates to how you position yourself in the marketplace?
Well, I've gone to the networking sessions,
Okay.
and there's always a lot of networking sessions,
Yep.
and you know, a lot of companies want to see you, those type of things. So I position myself to go to networks. I position myself with my collateral pieces. I position myself with my website because a couple of companies try to go out and see me, you know, Mr. McRae, and I didn't have a site before. So they told me like, hey, I can't see you. So I went and repositioned myself, got my website up, and they know, they see my history. You know, I've done all that. I've done everything I need to do. You know, I'm just.
Or so you feel.
Yes, sir. So I feel. So, and it's an inconvenient truth for me just being honest with you, sir.
Yeah,
I'm trying to figure out how do I really present myself to the investing public for $3 million. And I think I've done everything I can possibly do to you know, have somebody take interest in, you know, giving me $3 million to get to the next level. Now, I don't know everything about this, you know,
Sure.
so I'm trying to figure out, well, if I get $3 million, you know, Mr. Jesse, do I have to give up my company, right? Or do I bring them on and give them a piece of equity in my company? Or really, you know, I'm afraid too, because it's $3 million, how am I gonna pay it back? You know, and I'm trying to position myself, and that's why I'm, you know, talking to you, sir,
Sure.
on this show today at PN Global News,
Yeah.
by the way, PN Global News. So how do I do these things? I'm just kind of stuck. I don't know.
Sure. All very good questions.
Thank you.
But again,
I don't know. I don't know everything, sir.
and going through the process of answering those questions, we're going to have the kind of candor that is necessary to reveal those opportunities. We don't want to call them weaknesses, although one could say that they are.
So we look at strength and weaknesses throughout the platform.
But we want to reveal those opportunities for two reasons. One, to acknowledge the fact that they are opportunities that are issues that need to be addressed.
Yes, correct.
But then two, from that, and most importantly, is the method of execution.
Yes.
To transcending or getting past them.
Right.
Because clearly you're at an inflection point in your corporate history. So we'll talk about that.
Okay.
We will definitely talk about that.
So
no, go ahead.
Let me understand. So what I have now, and I presented to you my capabilities.
You've been around for a while.
Been around for a while.
You can cut shrubs real good.
Yes, I can, sir. Oh my
you,
God, can I cut shrubs?
Here's the thing.
I can cut some real shrubs, sir.
You don't mind trimming Bermuda, but you prefer to go in with St. Augustine.
Hey, whatever gets me paid, sir, I'll cut it.
You're gonna plant the Easter lilies.
That's right.
Right by the C-suite.
That's right.
Okay.
So I'm
begonias.
Yeah, sir. Whatever I need to do, sir. No problem.
You realize I'm interviewing you to do my home, right?
Yeah, I got you, and that's gonna cost you too, by the way. But how do I gain access to this $3 million?
Sure.
What do I need? What do I need? And I know you guys have done an assessment. You guys are doing through an assessment of my company now.
Right.
So some of the most important things I really need to make sure that I have this for this investing public is what? What are those things I need?
Right. So strictly looking through the lens of an investor, you're being viewed in terms of risk. Yes, there clearly could be, should be, and otherwise would be a growth story here. Yeah. But there's been risk involved with you growing to the point of your $3 million in top line revenue. Yeah. So there's going to be risk inherently involved in another $3 million cash infusion. So certainly one of the things that we want to keep in mind at this juncture is if you are unsure about where you stand in terms of your market share, being the fact that we're going to have to deal with a business plan, have to come back through and talk about where that data goes so that we can begin to couch this story the right way. That's for sure. So I think that we're going to go to a break here pretty soon, but coming back, we want to talk about the execution steps going forward.
Yeah, so we definitely need to talk about the execution steps of how do I, as a landscaping company, get to the next level as far as being able to present my capabilities as well as anything else I need to present to the investing public to get $3 million. Because we're playing devil's advocate now, so we want everybody to understand this is unrehearsed, unscripted, but we're acting as a small business because this is what we do on a day-to-day. We are a small business. We represent a lot of small businesses, and we're also trying to educate, small business on really how to get to the next level. And we're gonna have a lot of different segments and a lot of different teachings on the things that you really need to do to be able to gain access to true capital across the U.S. as well as international.
Of course.
So we're gonna go to a break, and we're gonna come back here at PN Global News, and today is August the 9th, 2018, and Lord knows we're happy to be here today.
Yes, indeed.
Me and my partner, Jesse McRae,
and the incomparable Rodney Woods.
We'll be back in a moment.
In a minute.
Hello, I'm Randall Bird. I'm a gynecologist on staff at Texas Health Center for Diagnostics and Surgery. Robotic surgery is certainly a portion of the future of medicine. Through the use of computer-assisted technology, the robot allows patients to have less pain, a shorter hospitalization, and it allows them to return to their work and their lifestyle much faster. My patients particularly appreciate the care they receive at Texas Health Center for Diagnostics and Surgery. The nursing staff always gets high marks, and they're specially trained to deal with patients after minimally invasive surgery. The facility is beautiful, and the food is excellent. If you're considering a gynecological procedure, major or minor, please speak with your physician. And remember, the physicians on staff at Texas Health Center for Diagnostics and Surgery are always available to help.
All right, we're back. We're back here at PN Global News. We're back.
PN Global News. And don't forget, let's tell them where they can find us now. www.playbookinvestors with an S network.com. Excellent, excellent. You did that pretty well, man.
Thank you. I've been practicing on this with Jesse for quite a while, so.
22 shows, and we finally got it synchronized. There is hope. There is hope,
right. So we're going to go back to playing devil's advocate about being a small business and trying to take the business to the next level.
Yep.
So just as I've indicated prior to the commercial that I'm a top line revenue, $3.5 million business, landscaping company. I have a couple of contracts, i.e. with the city of Dallas, and I had a contract with Parkland Hospital. But I've really been trying to get my business to the next level, and I know I need to gain access to capital, and I understand you guys have a plethora of investor pools of capital. But how do I go to the next level and get this $3 million I'm looking for? And I know I'm top line, 3.5, but I gotta raise $3 million because I gotta buy more equipment and I gotta hire more people. And I'm struggling. I need to get the right people too.
Right.
I definitely need to get the right people in my business because I think I can take this business, man, from 3.5 to at least 50 million in the next 2 years. I know it's aggressive growth. I know I can get there. I know I can get there. Help me.
And here's what I will tell you.
Please help me.
Here's what I will tell you. If you lack that ambition, I'd be worried.
Yeah.
Okay. So leading into the break, we were talking about the fact that it's very important to understand where you stand.
Yes.
In terms of your market presence, your market share.
Yeah.
Because what that does is it pinpoints really your relative position in the marketplace as it is right now. And then as we get into more of the business plan aspects here in a few moments, is making sure that your executive summary and your subsequent projections show a methodical, albeit conservative preferably, but a methodical approach to how you're going to deploy those resources to hire, to negotiate perhaps joint ventures, all that will get you to this end result or some close variance thereof to say, hey, okay, I projected to be 6.5 million by the end of end of 2020, but I'm only 5.3.
But so does the projections that I projected, do they hurt me, Mr. Jesse? Do they hurt me because I projected these type of numbers I project that I think I can get to?
Sure.
Does it hurt me in any kind of way when the investor is looking at my projections?
Well, I think that's like asking a state trooper, is he more likely to give a ticket to a red sports car than a black one? Okay, it's all relative, okay? One looks like it's going faster than the other. Where I'm going with that is that a projection is basically an ambition.
Yeah, okay.
But the business plan will hopefully articulate whether or not certain aspects of that ambition are misguided. So let's come back to answer your question about really understanding how you go to the next level. When you come onto our platform, at Playbook Investors Network, and you go through and you do the assessment, that assessment is designed to very clearly understand who you are, what you do, historically how well you've done it, And certainly understand the industry that you represent, but again, getting back to an earlier point, based on where you are in your industry versus your peers, at some point we have to come back to where you stand, because someone is doing 1.5 versus you.
Yeah.
Someone's doing 6.8 versus you.
True.
So that doesn't necessarily make you inferior or superior to the latter or the former. But
Right.
what happens is that it still says, okay, well, if there is an industry here in this particular market segment of landscaping that's a $200 million industry, and I'm only doing $3 million, that in and of itself suggests that I'm only 1.5% of the market. So there's a lot of upside. So again, looking through the lens of an investor, I'm saying, okay, there's potentially some intrinsic value here.
Yeah, okay.
So we go through the assessment.
It sounds like you're going to help me.
I'm trying to help you. I'm trying to help you.
It sounds like he's going to help me, y'all.
Embrace this truth, okay? Because I'm going to try to deliver it to you as genteel as I can, but it's going to be inconvenient.
Okay.
So when you come through our platform and you take your assessment, and the investment that's been made in how our technology works is to make sure that based upon the inputs, which are largely based upon what you input.
Yeah,
Okay?
absolutely.
Because you've got you've got your own truths.
Yeah, I got my history here.
So you put you make your inputs, but then there are outcomes that are going to recommend certain services versus the other.
Okay.
Okay. So let's just assume that that interface is user friendly, and believe me, we've done everything we can to make it user friendly. You go in, you make your inputs. We know who you are, how well you've done it. We have a high level view of your management team.
Okay.
We have a reasonable view of where you stand financially in terms of certain aspects of your balance sheet, certain aspects of your income statement. But now is where we lift that hood up a little bit more and try to better understand a critical thing, and that is based upon where your balance sheet is, your assets versus your debts. We're going to come back to a bit of humor that we had earlier, in that we're talking because now you're having to have, right now, an inconvenient conversation.
There's a very inconvenient conversation.
Because the convenient money
Right.
and the convenient options may not be available for whatever reason.
Okay.
So, inconvenient truth at this stage. We've assessed you.
Yeah.
There are certain services that you need, and let's just assume that it's something as simple as accounting. Okay. Or branding.
Okay.
You said yourself that you've been certified for quite some time.
Yes, sir. I have.
You're a known quantity with some institutions.
They all know me.
They all know you.
They see me out there with my hat on and my lawnmowers and my crew.
And the thing is, you have an American Express that shows up.
Yes, that's right, sir.
Okay? but also, you expressed ambitions to grow to 50 million.
Yeah.
And you also expressed ambitions to be beyond just known as a local quantity, but a global quantity.
I want to be able. I want to be able to do more projects, you know, outside of the Texas market. I want to have a crew in Tennessee and Florida. And I'm gonna grow the business.
Got it.
I just need that help. I'm still trying to figure out how I'm gonna get this $3 million.
Sure. So, outside of accounting, maybe there is a web presence that needs to be born.
I did that, sir.
Yeah. Maybe. Here's one. You really want to talk about risk?
Okay.
Something happens to you, heaven forbid.
Yeah, we get it. Let's just get into it.
What happens to the business? So now we're getting into a succession
planning, which we talk about all the time. Every show, yes.
Because we know that mortality is real.
It is real. Okay? It is.
And now we're getting into other aspects of risk associated with managing the outgrowth of the business and key man.
And so this is very important, though, Mr. Jesse, to the investing public, is to have that succession plan. If something does happen to myself, right? Yep. So I think every investor, every bank, or every micro lender, they want to know. I understand this now, that if something happens to me, they want to know how are they going to get this money back, right?
So said differently, you're saying that you realize you've had an epiphany.
Yeah, I did.
You just had a Thomas Edison
I haven't
moment.
got sick yet, but and I got a succession set up, sir, so I got that, okay. But yes.
That it's not just the return on investment.
Right.
It's the return of investment.
Yes.
Which now gets into the succession planning and the key man insurance. And
they told me about this key man insurance as well, and said I need to have key man insurance, and I need to take out this insurance policy on my top guy at the company. And I read up on it. I understood now what key man insurance is. So I did that too.
So you check that box.
Yes, sir. I checked that box.
Okay.
I got key man insurance. I got a succession plan. Man, sir, I'm ready.
Okay,
I'm ready. I'm ready.
Let's go down the checklist then. So your debits are matching up with your credits.
Yes, sir.
Your T accounts are in line.
Yes, sir.
All right. So we know that assets are going to equal your debt plus owner equity.
Yeah.
We got that. No problem. No problem.
Yes, sir.
Now we have a policy for the key man or woman.
Yeah.
Let's not be gender specific.
Oh yeah. I got that. I got that. Sir.
You have a succession plan where
yes,
if anything were to happen, the business is going to operate.
Yeah.
And you've hired a top-notch firm to help you with your wwws and your .coms.
Yes.
Okay, so now that we've covered all of that.
Got my social media company. My social media. What's his name? Joe Scott. Yeah.
You got Joe.
I got Joe.
Okay, you got Joe.
I got Joe.
So Joe's going to put you out there.
Joe going to put us out there.
Got it.
Yeah.
So now that we've addressed the aesthetics of this situation.
Yeah. Okay.
Now we're going to be a bit more pragmatic and deliberate.
Okay.
About what the real risk is, because it's not just you.
It's not. No,
it's not just your board.
True.
It's not really just your product or service.
Yeah.
It is rather the execution of how you deliver that product or service, because that's your business.
Yeah, it's my business.
So now, looking through the lens of an investor, I have to ask you, sir.
Okay.
Looking at your balance sheet, and you've checked off all these boxes.
Yes, sir. I have.
What or how do you see yourself asking for this investment beyond just I need $3 million, which is really a statement?
Yeah,
which is really a statement.
Right, and I've been talking to your team, and
you
know, I understood some things that I didn't understand, previously before I decided, okay, I really want to grow this business, and I need help. So I'm definitely. On my evaluation, I did evaluation of my company based off the companies that are in my space, that do the same thing I do.
Well, not evaluation, but you've looked at your market presence, your market share.
Yeah, but I did evaluation of the companies in my whole space.
The evaluation,
right,
got it. Yep,
so I did that.
Yep.
And I also understood that if I'm asking for the $3 million, I've already prepared myself to give up 25% of my company for equity play. Yeah, so I'm gonna give up 25%. I've done that. I've sat down with my team and talked about it. I got my key man insurance. I got my succession plan together. So I'm willing to give up 25% of equity for this $3 million. Yes, sir. I've done that. I don't know if I've done everything. I'm just trying to make sure I got everything lined up, sir.
Okay. So that said.
Yes, sir.
You give up 25% of your company.
Yes, sir.
With a $3 million cash infusion.
Yes, sir.
Now, what I find particularly interesting about that, sir, is you're doing $3 million in top line revenue.
Yeah.
But that 25% ownership stake that you're willing to give up.
Yeah.
Enterprise value notwithstanding, because you're already valuing the company at a level that you haven't even gotten close to achieving.
Yeah, true.
Okay.
True. Yeah, I know.
And we haven't even gotten to whether or not your company is throwing off any free cash flow, also known as profits. But which are important.
Yeah.
But let's understand, in taking this 25% stake and offering it as tender for my check.
Yeah.
Is that a 25% common equity stake?
Yeah.
Is that a 25% preferred equity stake?
Yeah.
Is that a 25% stake that represents warrants, convertible, based upon hitting certain milestones? So all these things are going to be very important for us to consider.
Okay.
So here soon we're going to come back to that.
Yeah.
We're going to have that conversation.
We're going to come back and talk about common and preferred stock, because we got to understand exactly what we're giving up and what we're getting ourselves into.
Because it could be inconvenient.
It could be very inconvenient. So we're here today with the inconvenient truth of investing in small business. We'll be back after the break.
School's over. What's next? Imagine a place where friendly faces say hello. You grab a healthy snack, have fun, and play a little. Imagine a place where you get lost in a book, get help with homework, or learn in the computer lab, where you create something cool, kids take the stage. And you get some exercise. Imagine a safe place where you hang out with friends. Your voice matters, and someone's always there to listen. A place where you like spending the afternoon. And you can't wait to tell someone all about it. The club is a fun, positive, and safe place to grow. A place to become anything you dream. Boys and Girls Clubs. Great futures start here.
All right, we're back. We're back here at PN Global News.
Back at PN Global
Back with
News.
my partner, Jesse McRae, right here.
The incomparable Rodney Woods, with an emphasis on incomparable, let me tell you.
I appreciate it, Jay. We're always blessed to be upright on the other side of this dirt, to be able to present and educate the listening public and the viewing audience.
Yeah, we're highly favored, brother.
About how, to get to the next level as far as gaining access to capital. Now, we're going to get back to what we were preferred in common stock, Jesse.
Yeah.
And to our comments and our statements. But we also want to make sure we let the listening audience know that, A, we will have major investors on this platform moving forward to talk about the investing and things that, and the inconvenient truth of really why they invested in some companies and why they didn't invest in some companies. Today, Jess and I just playing devil's advocate.
Oh, yeah.
Playing devil's advocate to understand as a business the things I really need to get to the next level. And talking to Jesse and his team, he's also finna hit me up and say, hey, do you need common? Are you gonna do this common or preferred stock? Right?
Yeah, absolutely.
So take
it away.
It away,
Okay.
J-Mac.
Okay. So picking back up what we were, sir. Valuations aside.
Yeah.
Post the 25%, because we know that's we've covered that before.
That's all. I mean, I'm just. I looked at this 25%. I mean,
we've covered that before.
Right. I'm willing to give up 25%, Mr. McRae.
Got it. So the thing that I have to consider as an investor is the kind of investment that this could be.
Okay.
Might be considered venture capital. Now, the reason I say that,
I'm scared of that word now. VC, they're gonna take my company, right?
It could be considered that, just by the mere size of the transaction.
Right, and because we don't want to frown up on VC because VC is good, is money too.
Yep.
Also now it's going to family offices, so a lot of venture capital firms have gone away to to the family office side.
Sure.
Just the VC name scared me for a second.
Oh, no, don't worry about that.
I heard so many things about VC? Venture capitalists.
Yeah.
Okay, let's go. All right,
cool.
So
so when I look at this, just by the size of this transaction, as we get into the nature of this transaction, you've made $3 million, but one of the things that comes out of the assessment is the $3 million represents revenue, but what investment was made in your company to give you the runway to ramp up and build your business to $3 million in revenue. The reason that I ask that is because, again, I have to understand that there is, in all likelihood, a portion of this money, which you should be able to outline in a segment of your executive summary called Sources and Uses. That will show where a portion of this may be used to defease or pay off legacy debt.
Yeah, so the legacy debt that I do have is all from me. I saved my money when I started the business. I didn't really have anybody to go to, mom and dad, and didn't have any, wealthy relatives and stuff like that. So when I started the business, I just kept cutting a lot of grass.
So your truths have been inconvenient from the jump.
Yeah. I grew this thing organically, kept putting money in. And now I'm here, and I just feel like if I can get a little help, because I've tried to go to the banks, to get money, and I've been turned down.
And you have a checking account with these institutions?
I got a checking account, and as a matter of fact, I got mad because I went to the bank, and I ain't gonna call the bank's name. Yes, I am. I went to Wells Fargo. Yes, I did. They turned me down. Said
this is just a scenario, everybody.
It is a scenario. Wink. Okay. But no, I went to Wells and I got denied, and I couldn't understand why. You know, I couldn't understand why, and they said that I didn't meet, you know, their
certain criteria. Sure.
Right, their criteria. So I wanted to look into this investing platform that you guys have built with Playbook Investors Network. I wanted to look into it. I want to try to understand it and see how could I really, you know, gain access to capital.
Of course.
So yeah, I've done everything I think I do. So organic money, my own money, no debt. I don't really owe anybody, you know, any money. I don't owe the banks. I don't owe anybody right now. So
got it. And not getting into the minutia of really what your investment in your company entailed, because it's not outside the realm of you know, possibility that as an individual, that when you were putting money into the firm, depending upon how you and your accountant did it at the time, those checks written may have been in the form of a capital investment, but it was earmarked on the books as debt. So, so when we say debt, categorically, it could be considered either just a organic investment, or it could be accounted for because of the tax implications and benefits as being an investment that represents debt. Either way, either way. So now I have to look at this $3 million.
Yeah, so you're going to give me the inconvenient truth now, right?
Yeah, I'm getting the inconvenient truth. Is the fact that, that I'm going to broach you with the fact that I want to know, not just the fact of whether or not you have an existing debt, which you're saying that by accounting standards you may not.
Yeah. At least in my mind.
But guess what?
Sir.
You take my check.
Yes, sir.
Let's assume that I don't want to be an operator in your business, which by definition would disqualify me to some degree for common stock consideration.
Right, because you're not going to be an operator, you don't know my business.
Won't be involved in the business. However, I may still want that common, because even though I'm not going to be operating in the business.
I'm getting confused now. So help me, you know, understand common stock first. I need to make
That's where we're going with that.
Okay,
that's where we're going with
common stock.
That's where we're going with that. Because what that says is that I either have the inherent right, the preemptive access, to be intimately involved in your business, and or to have a vote or governance influence over the direction of your business.
Got you. Okay. And you don't want to cut no grass. It's hot.
I'm not cutting.
It's hot. I don't know, Mr. Jesse. Let me get out here and cut this lawn with us.
Let me just say, vanity has its place, and I'm not cutting grass. I don't want to hear. I don't want to hear anything about Briggs and Stratton lawnmowers. I don't want to hear anything about John Deere. Nothing against those names.
All right, so let's go to the preferred side, Mr. Jesse.
I'm not cutting grass.
He ain't cutting grass with me, so let's go to the preferred stock. What is that, sir?
So, since as an investor, I don't have an interest in being intimately involved in the operation of the business, you've convinced me that perhaps I don't need to be as concerned with the judgment, discretion, and leadership of the business.
Right, gotcha.
Now I will consider taking more of a secondary role, also known as preferred. However, it is preferred for a reason. You want to know why that is?
Yes, sir, I do. I want to know why the reason.
Are you ready for the second inconvenient truth?
I'm ready for the second inconvenient truth.
Because here's the thing. You've built a $3 million business.
Yes, sir, I have.
You've done pretty well.
Thank you.
You've grown it organically.
Yes, sir.
You have nurtured and watered this business from the ground up.
Yes, I have,
You've gotten certified.
Yes,
you are a known quantity.
I'm a DFW minority business certified business.
As we say,
I am.
You are nationally recognized and locally accepted.
Yes, I am. Got a next code too. Absolutely.
You have a next code. And you're very comfortable with the method in which your business operates.
Absolutely.
However, if I'm going to elect to go preferred and we negotiate that, whatever your financial performance has been, and let's say that it's throwing off at the end of the year 10%. Free cash flow. That means that $300,000 is being left in the kitty.
Right.
As a preferred equity holder, I actually come before that.
Yes, because you would take first position.
I get first fruits. I get first. I get a portion of those. Yes.
Can I live with that?
You got to live with it. Can you live with that? What that means is that you may have to reconsider buying the new Maserati and going with a certified pre-owned.
Yeah. Okay. Pre-owned sounds good too, Jesse.
But all humor aside, these are very important considerations because
absolutely.
as a business owner, understand that if I come in as common, not only am I diluting typically your Class A shares.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
But I also could, over time, directly or indirectly, influence or unduly influence the direction of the company as it relates to how it operates, who it hires, and how it executes its service in the marketplace.
Right,
And all of
right.
those could be disadvantageous.
And so those are understandings that we have to have.
From a common stock perspective.
Right, from common or preferred.
From a preferred perspective, it's a little bit different.
Yeah.
Yep.
So these are things that you have to understand as a small business,
Yep.
especially when you're going out here to seek capital. You know, whether it be from, you know, a private equity firm or a venture capital firm or the bank or micro lending, other institutional dollars, SBA loans, the whole nine. So there's a lot of things that we have to consider when we go out here and access this capital.
And we're going to get into the mezz piece here momentarily.
Okay.
But we're still sticking with this from a basic VC perspective, just
Okay.
because of the size of this particular transaction and the
right,
nature
true,
of it.
true,
So,
true.
yeah. So getting with preferred, and I'll kind of wrap this up, is now that we know the difference between common and preferred, or recognize the difference between them, one will give you influence and a preemptive right to have a vote. One doesn't give you influence as relates to the operation or voting, but it does give you priority in the case of free cash flow and in case Armageddon hits like 2008.
The market crash.
The orderly liquidation of assets.
Yeah.
Yes. Well, now
Wow.
a preferred equity holder is just below debt, but they are above common, because common is always last in the priority. So as an investor, I have to look at not just how the business is positioned, but I ask you, where are you in terms of your industry and your market? What kind of market share you have? Not just in terms of how the business is being run. Very important. You got to have a running business that's efficient and productive and profitable.
True.
Not just the management team, because they represent the outgrowth of the vision of the business to make sure that it's viable long term. But I have to look at how I'm going to position this investment, because I have two considerations myself.
Okay. And what are those? What are those?
Whether or not whether or not your opportunity fits my risk appetite, one.
Okay.
And if it does, relative to the rest of my portfolio and how that is structured in terms of any other private investments that I have, whether or not you are a complement to that, or you are an outlier in which I can set reasonable return expectations. Again, not just return on, return of.
Got you.
Yep.
I mean, you know, and the things that we try to convey to the viewing audience and the listening public are these things, that the unknowns are unknowns and there are some knowns, but it's just the inconvenient truth of understanding the whole investment platform, investing into small business or majority business or what have you. These are the things that we try to very much convey to the viewing audience and the listening public. There are so many things that, you know, you're going to come across in trying to access capital till it's like, wow, I didn't even know. And some of this stuff today, with us even just kind of, you know, devil's advocate here playing, you know, role playing with each other back and forth, it's still kind of foreign to some of you. And to some, it may be like, hey, I understand all that and I'm good.
Sure.
I got it.
Yeah.
That happens too. But for those who really want to understand, this is what we do every Thursday. Every Thursday from 10 a.m. to 11 a.m., you know, live, to really just, you know, put this out there that everybody can understand and see how to gain access to capital and get to the next level. But we've been told that we're getting ready to go to another break. So now we're going to go to a break, and we'll be back in a few moments. All right.
Less than a minute.
At the Center for Disc Replacement at THCDS, we've really been at the forefront of research for artificial disc replacement. Artificial disc replacement is a relatively new procedure for patients who have degenerative disc disease, a lot of pain, and who might have been told that they need a fusion. Recovery after artificial disc replacement and motion preservation is usually faster than it is after fusion. If you have a question about whether you're a candidate for disc replacement or you want to learn more about it, ask us. That's why we're here.
All right, we're back here at PN Global News, August the 9th, 2018.
2018. Can you, you just said August. You know, it seems like.
Did I say something wrong?
No.
Oh, okay.
I just can't believe it's August. I mean, think about
it.
The year has gone by. It seems like just last week we were cutting
man.
the turkey.
It's crazy.
Seemed like on Monday we were singing Old Lang Syne. On Tuesday, we were celebrating Memorial Day,
Yeah.
and here we are on the
Right.
precipice of Labor Day.
Yeah.
Where has the year gone?
You know, Jesse, I tell you, some days, man, I don't even know myself. I think, as you know, in the office, I got a gift one time from one of the staff, and it changed the dates. So you have to physically change the date.
The blocks.
The blocks.
The
right.
blocks.
From
Yes.
Miss Tate, right?
Yes. Yes.
So Miss Tate gave me this gift, and you got to change the number every day so you can keep up with the day. And I was like, man, maybe this will help me understand that the day is the 9th, and tomorrow when I change it, be the 10th, and I can keep up with it.
Yep. Yep.
Man, we go out of town, come back, man, it's already like the 31st.
And the month still says June. Isn't that crazy? But time moves fast.
Doesn't stand
when you're being
around.
productive.
And we learned one thing, you know, time doesn't hesitate for no one.
At all.
It has no fear. It keeps moving, and you gotta sometimes just do the things you need to do to take care of yourself and get to the next level.
And speaking of time, you know, in terms of how we've evolved and the folks that have been with us and put in time with us, you know, I know that we always like to recognize a few of those folks to make sure that our viewing audience has a clear picture of it's more than just these two faces.
Absolutely.
You know, that it's a lot of support behind us and investment behind us, and I know that you're always one to recognize, you know, the partners that have been there since the mud was wet.
Oh my God, man, and you know, some days it's a sad moment sometimes when, you know, you start to reflect back on people who believed in you.
Of course.
And, you know, we're talking about this investment platform and everything else. Without investment platform, we wouldn't be able to sit here today ourselves.
Sure.
You know, one and foremost, you know, our late partner, Henry Jackson.
Mr. Jackson.
Who passed away, you know, months ago, and it's still
tough.
Yep. Some days.
But we celebrate his memory.
Yeah, we do. We do. And some days it's tough just not hearing his voice or getting cursed out.
Yeah, yeah. Let's just say that he was colorful.
Yeah. And then our business partner, you know, and Tracy McGrady, the former NBA player, the Hall of Famer, Mr. Tracy McGrady. You know, without Tracy believing this and want to be a big part of this himself to help so many athletes and entertainers transition into this business space that they now, and Tracy's statement is, how do we own stuff? You know, as an athlete, entertainer.
The right way.
The right way, the right way. How do we own things in our backyard? How do we own a manufacturing plant that we saw growing up? As a matter of fact, Tracy had taken me in Arbondale, Florida. The Coca-Cola plant is like next to the fence where he grew up at.
His neighborhood.
In his neighborhood.
Yep.
How does he own a piece of that?
Wow.
You know, and
the right way.
The right way, and create jobs. So those type of things, you know, it's like, it's mind-boggling sometimes, but we got to figure it out. We got to get educated. We got to listen. You know, sometimes a lot of us don't want to listen, and we understand that. But without investors, sometimes it's tough. You know, our latest investor in Gwen Purcell.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Ms.
And her
Gwen,
counsel, Sean.
and Sean,
absolutely.
Yeah, Sean Lau. And Wendell. Wendell McCain.
And Wendell McCain, and can't forget, you know, talk about building a sizable franchise. Certainly can't leave out, you know, Wesley and
Wesley
and
Barnett
his family.
from the Publix family. So these investors saw something in us that they believe that we can help transition a lot of you into the right spaces and to gain access to capital. So therefore, they put money behind our company to help us understand how do we get to the next level and help everybody else get to the next level. As a matter of fact, we got a big night, you know, coming up.
Oh, wow.
And we'll be talking about this later on.
Big night.
We have a big night coming up in August 25th in Florida. Well, in Orlando, Florida, in a certain suburb. We'll give you the address and all that stuff later. With Ms. Purcell and her team and her crew.
Because they'll be considering investments because they've been broached like this directly and indirectly, but they'll be presented with opportunities to look at these sorts of investments through a fund vehicle.
Yeah, but we'll bring down our,
we'll save that.
Yeah, we'll save it. We'll bring down our partners, Don Jones and Linda Davey.
Yes,
So we'll
and her team.
Yep, but you know, more importantly, we do this show, you know, for you. Anybody who wants to listen, anybody who wants to understand, and just be able to have the opportunity to gain access to capital. That's why we do the show. We don't do the show just to get paid for it, because that's not the case.
At all.
We're not getting paid. Want to make sure everybody knows that. This is strictly for you to understand how to gain access to the next level. Wish we had some of this when we were starting our businesses. We didn't have it. You know, the councils that certify us as a minority business and give us a designation of minority woman-owned, government, LGBTQ, Chamber of Commerce, and so on and so forth. They give us these designations to say this is who we are in this group, and this is how we represent the company for corporations that accounting spend with us to understand how to check that box too.
Yep.
So it's a ride. It's a huge ride, getting up every morning just to make sure that we practice what we preach, we educate, we talk, we put the messages out there in every facet we can do, from your Facebook. You can see us on Facebook. You can see us on Roku. You can see us on LinkedIn. I mean, I'm thinking of all the social media platforms that you can actually see us. We do these things because it really is about how do we change the game, how do we change the economy, and how do we create jobs, and how, most importantly, how you access the capital.
Because that's the point. I mean, at the end of the day, we know that hope springs eternal and ambitions are abound, but those ambitions are only as valued and only as fruitful as we are individually and collectively as an enterprise to create that change through creating jobs, creating income, and creating opportunity. So getting back a little bit into and segueing from the distinction between common and preferred equity, because these are all considerations for a small company in terms of how they're going to position that capital with the certainly the dilutive effect that it can have at the common level, the priority circumstance that it can have at the preferred level. But even me as an investor, I've got to look and say, hey, I put this $3 million out here. I'm not going to run the business. I'm not concerned about common. I want priority over the cash flow, so I'm more interested in preferred. Or
you want priority over my cash flow?
I want priority because and here's the thing. Maybe
really?
what we do.
He wants priority over my cash flow.
You know what?
Really?
Because right now you're wanting priority over how I plan to use this $3 million.
We are playing devil's advocate for real. But he's real serious about this.
As we like to say, let's not get this twisted.
Yeah, don't get it twisted, man.
So now, all humor aside, let's just assume that I'm viewing this from a preferred equity play. Okay. But you're throwing off 10% free cash flow.
Sure.
Okay?
Yes,
you're throwing off $300,000 annualized.
Yeah.
I mean, that is $27,000, $28,000 a month after all bills, after all payroll, after everything's paid for. So now perhaps I look at this landscaping company and I figure that, I've got a property in Duluth, Minnesota. I'm particularly interested in making sure that it looks good because I'm looking at going into Airbnb. I need you to maybe keep the yard, or maybe we can barter. Okay. So tell you what.
All right.
Instead of me being 12% or 15% preferred. Okay. Perhaps what I'll be is debt with an equity component. So now we're transitioning from what would be otherwise considered conventional VC to being more mezzanine.
Right. Okay. So the mezz side. So you're going to go to the mezz debt side of things.
Mezz debt. So what mezzanine financing is, in very simplistic terms, is an investment that is a debt equity hybrid. Okay. Because it fits between the ceiling of debt and the floor of common equity. True. Okay. Yeah. So to that end, I like your business. Okay. Don't worry about keeping up my property in Duluth, Minnesota. I'm trying to sell it. But again, all humor aside, I like your business. I see the intrinsic value. I've bought into the fact that you've got a lot of upside in terms of your industry. But understand, I'm making this investment in you, like folks have made an investment in us, because I believe in the leadership of this business. So I tell you what.
Thank you, Mr. Jesse.
You're welcome. You're welcome. So I tell you what.
I'm looking for that check.
Let's do this. Let's do this. How about you pay me an 8% coupon? Okay. Okay. Payable semi-annually. Even though you got plenty of free cash flow on a monthly and quarterly basis, I'll take 2 coupons a month. However.
But you got to tell the listening public what those 2 coupons are. Yeah,
so that annualized interest rate is 8%.
8%, so
you're going to pay me twice a year. Right. So that means that you're technically splitting that up. Now, I'm not going to get into, again, the minutia of really getting greedy and capitalistic about this and doing a compounded daily rate of return calculation. I'm not going to do like credit card.
No.
I'm not going to do like American Express or not to name any bank specifically, but Visa or MasterCard. We're not going to do a calculation on your average daily balance. Because once you take my check, you do have an average daily balance.
21,
yes, you do. You do. But we're going to treat this, and we're not going to treat it as simple interest because I need to get something for the risk that I'm now taking with
that you're taking with me. I got you.
Okay.
Now you understand. I mean, he's taking a risk with me.
Yeah.
So these are his terms, and he's negotiating his terms with me. I haven't agreed yet, but we are negotiating.
I haven't written the check yet.
Oh, okay. Thank you, sir.
I understand your relative position now.
I'm negotiating though.
So I'm looking at making this infusion.
Okay.
I believe in you, believe in the business. I see the upside. We've checked the boxes. You've shown me a business plan with an executive summary that shows how you're going to be methodical and judicious with deploying this capital. Again, in this little document called Sources and Uses, very important. And everything ties back to your pro forma, your projections. So now, I'll take an 8% coupon.
Okay.
Now, we're going to have to go back and look at your operating agreement.
Yes, sir. I got one.
We got to go back and look at your articles to make sure that
I got
you
my
can
articles.
issue
I got my operating agreement.
Yep.
I'm good.
That you can issue different classes of stock, because now we're going to get into warrants and converting those.
Okay.
Okay. And the dilutive effects of that.
Wow. So man,
isn't this something?
It is.
Inconvenient, isn't it?
It's an inconvenient truth, though, I'm telling you. and people got to know what it is. It's the inconvenient truth of investing.
In small business.
And Jesse and I are not saying that we know everything
about
investing, because there's so many different
facets
types of investing. It really is. We're just trying to make sure that you understand all the different types of investing, the different opportunities, the different things you got to go through just to get to that investing public. But I think relationships is really, really key here too. People want to invest in people that they like, or people they can work with.
You did hear me say I believe in you.
Yeah, he did.
I believe in you.
He believed in me. So that, for me, was really great. I'm so happy that you believe in me, Mr. Jesse, and I've definitely worked my butt off to get to where I'm at. I've been cutting a lot of lawns over the years.
I've looked at your work.
Yeah, I feel good about it too. Because you got to feel good about your work.
Yep.
You got to feel good about your work. You got to be confident in what you do. So I feel good about my landscape.
And I really like what you did with those crepe myrtles down the street in my neighborhood.
Did you like that?
I realized one of your trucks was in my neighborhood, man.
Did you like that?
Hey, man.
That was awesome, wasn't it?
I got to sample your work.
I put a little brother cut on there. But no, I mean, it's just, talking about the things that we have to do to get to the next level, and we play a lot, we joke a lot, we cut up about, the business side of things, because it's business.
Yes, it is.
It's serious, but it's also you have fun, on the way with people you like and people you want to work with. And, it's tough to get that inconvenient truth sometimes, that you go to a business or you go to an investing company and they tell you no.
They tell you no.
And sometimes I think the biggest challenge for us is, I think the biggest challenge sometimes you just don't want to hear the word I can't or no.
You don't want to hear
right?
it.
You don't want nobody to say, because I think the fear factor comes in when I went to this investment group and I asked them for this $3 million, and they said, we like everything about you, Rodney, we love your company, we love this, we love that, but I don't think we're going to be an investor. Man, it's like the bottom of your heart just fell out. Right? How many of you been through that? A lot. A whole lot.
Yep.
But I think when, companies begin to see you work, you position yourself, you get all your business plans, your PPMs for those who, some investors want to see a private placement memorandum. When they want to see those, you got to bring those, your succession plan, your key man insurance, your audit financials, or audit review.
Yes.
When you bring those things to the table, it gives you a better chance to gain access to
quality
capital.
of earnings, very important.
So with this inconvenient truth today, there will be about another 12 weeks, I believe, we decided. It's going to be the inconvenient truth of with real investors that we're bringing on the show to talk about companies they've invested into and the ones they decide not to invest into. And then to be the inconvenient truth of businesses, minority businesses, meaning designations of ethnicity, African American, Hispanic, Asian, Pacific Islander, LGBTQ,
Wow.
and the athlete entertainers. So it's all going to be the inconvenient truth of those who will be on our show. But as always, we're happy today to be here again with you at PN Global News.
Yes, we are.
Please go out and view us at www.playbookinvestorswithan.network.com. And we'll see you back here on next week, every week, 10 a.m. Central Time to 11 a.m. Central Time, live with us at PN Global News. Have a wonderful week and a great weekend. We'll see you next week.
Best of luck to you.